So we still do not know. Is it called soccer or is it called football? Who knows? Because USA and England both drew, but it's called soccer, just saying, okay? And it was, for the most part, an entertaining game, even though it was 0-0. I mean, maybe USA and England fans were the ones who really were the most into the game or see it as more interesting because for maybe like a neutral fan, it's like, just a boring 0-0 game. Both teams can't score. But there was a lot more that went into that. There was a lot of good stuff for both teams, I would say, maybe more for USA. And we'll talk about it today. So without further ado, let's get to it. So let's first start off with the USA, obviously, because the USA played surprisingly a 4-4-2 with Haji Ray and Tim Weah both as the strikers. Haji Ray being the only change Berhalter brought into this game, this lineup for this game, which was really surprising. I would have thought McKennie would have been maybe taken out. I thought maybe we'd see Gio Reyna or Brits and Ameircans start ahead of McKennie, or even a switch at fullback. Maybe I feel like Yedlin would have been the one to start today, but we'll get to the fullback situation in a little bit. For the most part, overall, as a USA soccer fan, I really love this game. The intensity, the drive the USA had. You can see the belief that they had, these young players had, and Tim Ream. But it was good. Everyone was pretty much solid for the most part. First half started off very, very all England. Okay, it was an all English affair the first couple minutes. And then once USA had their first attack on goal early on in the first half, momentum slowly started to transition more to USA being the attacking, being the counter-attacking, creating chances, controlling stuff. England, of course, were the ones who mostly controlled the game, I would say, more possession. But overall, I think that USA felt like the team that had the most entertaining shots on goal, or just even shots on goal in general. In the first half, I believe England had 3 and USA probably had 7. I think that's how it was in the before the second half. If I'm wrong, I really don't care. But overall, USA had more shots throughout the whole game. More shots on target were, of course, from England. But of course, we had Matt Turner in goal, who played a really good game, not just by saving goals, but also by his footwork, his feet on the ball, his passing, his dribbling when he dribbled outside the box later in the second half. That was freaking wild. That Arsenal training, though, you can just see it right there. The confidence. He was screaming the national anthem. After the national anthem, he was like, trying to pump the players up. It was a really good thing to see. We need stuff like that for our national team. I've seen a lot of things for England, on the other hand, where I feel like some of their fans were saying that they think that England was just playing for a draw here. They really don't want to, risk too much. They knew it was kind of a risky move playing USA too open like they did with Iran. But I really gotta disagree. Why would you want to play it safe against a team that could hurt you, and make things a little more complicated for you going forward to get out of the group stage? When if you just played the intensity to just try to win the game, you would be qualified for the USA. I mean, you would qualify for the next round of the World Cup, and then the last game against Wales, which Wales is pretty much shite team, if you want to use the English term. Let's be honest, they're really not that good. It's a shame that USA could not pull off that victory. But if you beat the USA, qualify, and then the game against Wales, who are not as good as maybe USA is, then you can rest some of your starter players, play some of the backup players you brought, just to give the starter players some rest heading into the round of 16, in a couple days. So I don't believe that whole they wanted to wait to qualify out for Wales. Like, why would you want to wait to qualify against Wales? Like, I don't get, why would you not want to go and just seal the victory and get that next game, that third game of the group stage, as kind of like a rotating squad game, so that way you can rotate your team. I don't believe it. And English fans might just look for a reason to not win against the USA. I know in England media they were saying that USA was going to lose by a lot of goals against England, when really it's just England, again, just maybe overhyping themselves. But England just being England. I really thought that England seemed a little out of whack today. They had the same exact lineup as they did against Iran, so I really expected a lot of trouble. The one thing I don't get with Gareth Southgate, and I'm sure from my understanding as a USA soccer fan, Gareth Southgate is kind of like the doppelganger of Greg Berhalter, where both sets of fans are like, ugh, he's not that good tactically. He doesn't make the best substitute decisions or starting lineup decisions. Overall, he's just meh. But I was really surprised that he did not start Phil Foden in this game. I really am a big fan of Phil Foden with Manchester City. He's doing really good there under Pep Guardiola. But then even like I just think he's a better player than Mason Mount. I think Phil Foden creates a lot more and is more dangerous going forward with his passing. So he could have definitely hurt the USA with some good key passes. There's that vision for goal. Like he's really good. I'm surprised that he stuck with Mason Mount instead. But again, I guess England fans will just say that's just scared Southgate for them. But overall, I think that England did seem a little lackluster. I don't know if maybe they were a little weary of USA once USA got the momentum going. Because early on in the first half, it looked like England was not scared of USA at all. But then maybe now once USA kind of got in their face back and they're like, oh shit, you know what? I mean, oh shit, this is getting bad. Now for the USA standpoint, I really let's talk about USA soccer fans here. And if you're not USA soccer fans, make sure you guys subscribe because we're talking about just a lot of not just USA soccer, but like soccer in general here. And yes, I said soccer, baby. I'm surprised, like I said, 4-4-2, crazy. Let's talk about the striker, Haji Wright. I think he was not bad, but he wasn't spectacular. I think it was good to have that tall, physical presence in the box. We're trying to get our crosses in. They couldn't really fit on. He did have one header that kind of went wide. He kind of missed that, but it was kind of behind him. Overall, I think he was okay. Hold up play was okay. He didn't really create too much chances. He did come back and defend and cut passing lanes, but for the most part, I don't think he did really much to impress anybody, especially his doubters. And there's a lot of doubters for Haji Wright to be in this squad. Let's talk about right back real quick. Sergio Dest, I think, played a really terrific game. Defending, he did pretty good. Going forward, he looked very, very dangerous. And I was surprised that, I wasn't surprised, but I was kind of annoyed that once Shaq Moore came on in the second half to replace Sergio Dest, who took a really bad knock and probably maybe as a precaution to take him off and give him some rest, especially because he was coming back from injury. Shaq Moore came on, and you could tell, bro, the quality of the defending, the quality of the crosses. There was, I think after Shaq Moore came in, immediately made 3 fouls and 1 or 2 bad passes, 1 bad cross. I was like, dude, you could totally see the difference of Shaq Moore and Sergio Dest. I would much prefer to see DeAndre Yedlin, who is a more experienced player at the high level in a World Cup, especially over Shaq Moore. Shaq Moore was a player who we were all surprised that was even fucking included in the squad. So I was like, why not bring in DeAndre Yedlin if there was some injury or whatever? Or why not even bring in freaking Joe Scally? I think he'd be a little more better than Shaq Moore was offering. Like, it was a really big drop. I feel like we lost a lot of... I think if Sergio Dest was still in the game when we had certain chances going forward later in the second half, we could have gotten a goal. We could have been even more dangerous because of, Dest's ability on the ball. But Shaq Moore really... wasn't that good. Brendan Aronson was okay. He just did his same old thing, running around everywhere and just kind of put pressure. It's just being Brendan Aronson and Medford Messi stuff. Was really mad, though, that Giovanni Reina did come on. But what I'm mad about is he came on too late. He came on like the 84th minute or something like that. I was like, dude, like, that's too late. Why would you, like, if he's okay to play... McKennie obviously was playing one of his best games ever in USA jersey. He was everywhere. A lot of the midfield players were, Tyler Adams especially. But McKennie, obviously carrying a knock on his leg, had to come off at some point. Why not bring him on off at the 60th minute with Giovanni Reina to replace him, and maybe instead of Brendan Aronson? I would have loved to see Reina come on. We needed some creativity going forward because it felt like after Dest left, there was really no creativity on the right flank with Shaq Moore leading the line. Christian Pulisic was doing a lot of creativity on his left, cutting inside, crossing. Even his corners looked dangerous. Finally, set pieces seem to be slowly getting better for the USA, and of course defending them. But I would have loved to see Gio Reyna come in there and make some good passing, some key passes. Like, I would have loved to see that. It's wild to me. It really is wild. But you know what? Center backs did okay. I could see that the England was pressuring Zimmerman more than Tim Ream. I think the commentators picked up on that as well. But for the most part, they were pretty good. Anthony Robinson, phenomenal game. Christian Pulisic, I think he was pretty good. He was maybe always a threat going forward. Always, you could tell England was kind of weary of him. They're like, yo, like, he could do anything at any moment, dribbling past players, making good key passes, playing the 1-2s. He had that one shot on goal in the first half. That if that goal went in, holy crap, would have been one of the best goals in USA history, and just for what it really meant to the squad. And think about it. If going back to the point about England playing for the draw, say McKennie scores that one goal in the first half that was crossed into him by Dest, or say that Christian Pulisic actually made that shot in goal instead of hitting the post. Both goals would, if they really scored those, they were going in. Pickford had no way to save those goals. So let's just say they scored one of them. Now England has to turn up a notch and play better. I don't think England was playing for a draw. I don't think they were kind of easing off. I think they were just kind of shocked that USA was giving the heat back to them, the same heat that they were giving to the USA. It was just like, whoa, like they were kind of caught off guard, and seemed a little lost at some points. But they were always dangerous going forward. Anytime Raheem Sterling or Saka were on the ball, even Harry Kane tracking back to hold up play, he was really phenomenal, Harry Kane. Going forward for England, I was always nervous. They got 3 shots on goal, way more than USA. So they really did play good. I think it was just they were maybe just a little weary of what the USA was hitting them back with at the other end. Okay, I don't want to make this video too long, but USA fans, Josh Sargent came in late. Of course, Iran came in late. We didn't get to see much of it. Let's see, I guess, Jesus Ferreira start against Iran. I will make a preview video, prediction video for the lineups and everything for that game. So if you're not subscribed yet, definitely subscribe down below or follow my TikTok. Leave it in the freaking description box down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts on if you guys think England was just going easy, waiting for the draw. I'm curious. And also, let me know if it's football or soccer. I'll see you guys next time.